up, everyone? So I am doing your monthly forecast a little bit different this month. I'm off camera because I've been under the weather for a while, and actually these videos are extremely late, which I apologize for, but I had some Mercury retrograde technical difficulties, of course. Mercury retrograde is in my third house of communication and electronic devices, so when I recorded these videos previously, they recorded with no audio, so I had to go back and redo everything. So once again, I apologize for the delay in these, and once again, don't forget to look at the videos for every sign of yours, your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. And also, I'm still having a sale through the end of December on all of my readings. Go to my website, which is indigomoon.astrology.com, and there's also a link below to that website, and there should be one on the little I button up above as well, to where you can go order a discounted reading. That's only a temporary discounted price, like I said, through the end of December. And in January, my rates will go up, so take advantage of that sale now, especially if you would like to buy a gift for a loved one, the gift of a reading of their astrology chart. It makes an excellent gift. And also, if you would like a 2017 personal forecast for yourself, those are selling right now too, as well as a 6-month forecast for the first 6 months of 2017. So once again, go to my website, indigomoonastrology.com, and stay tuned for your December 2016 forecast. Hi Pisces, this is your December horoscope that I'm going to show you once again on my board, the same board that I had last month, except the only difference is this month I have a clearer camera to show you everything on, and also different lighting, so hopefully everything's a lot more clear for you guys to see this month. See, here's you guys. This is your first house, which is Pisces. That is you. So I apologize for the delay in these videos. I did shoot some horoscope videos already, and then I discovered that they had no audio, so I had to go back and refilm everything. So thanks, Mercury retrograde. It's all about redo during that time. Get out of here, whatever that is. Anyway, so what's going on for Pisces this month? And I do apologize because I am a little bit under the weather, so hopefully you guys can still hear me and understand me clearly. So what's going on? What's going on, my fellow fishies? I'm a Pisces moon, so this applies to me too. Mercury went into the sign of Capricorn on the 3rd of December. And pretty much this whole month, you can count Mercury as being retrograde, okay? In its retrograde cycle. That's because Mercury, as soon as it entered in Capricorn, it went into its shadow period. And that means it's starting to slow down and prepare to go fully retrograde, which means it's going backwards, and that begins on the 19th of December. But even before that, during the shadow period, I mean, it's slowing down, so it's not processing things as usual. So that means all the effects of Mercury retrograde you can expect while Mercury is in shadow as well, maybe to a lesser degree though. I mean, don't let anybody out there tell you, well, Mercury retrograde doesn't begin until the 19th, and therefore everything should be great mercurial-wise, Mercury, with Mercury matters, up until the 19th. No, honey child, that is not the case, okay? Because I have already seen and experienced it. Mishaps in communication, misplacing things, sending emails to the wrong people, all that great stuff. And then look what happened with my videos. Come on now. That's a product of Mercury in shadow. So remember this month, make sure you back up everything. All your electronic stuff, all your files, everything. Back it all up. Protect your phones and your tablets and your computers, and also your vehicles, since Mercury does rule how you commute every day, your short distance travels, if you will. So for Pisces in particular, Mercury in Capricorn is your 11th house. This is the house that rules friendships and the groups that you belong to of like-minded individuals. So, and it also rules networking and the internet, okay? Communicating with people on the internet, okay? So what this means is you may be very, very busy on social media, Pisces. Very busy. I've seen, like, I belong to a Pisces specific group on Facebook, and that group has been posting like crazy this month. So they're very active, very socially active on the internet. Now, with Mercury being retrograde, though, I would be careful of, speaking out on some things, and then maybe like talking crap to people, and then Mercury retrograde would be like a boomerang. It'll fling the crap right back at you, Pisces. Okay, Pisces, we're generally very nice people, but hey, not every single Pisces is like super nice and never ever gets into a conflict. So just be careful with that. But networking. Read all the fine print if you decide to join a group or join a group effort, especially if it's business related. Also, be careful of miscommunications with friends. So that is this whole month. Now, on the 8th, Venus entered Aquarius, and Venus rules our love and relationship energy, and it's also enjoyment of the physical realm. So, Venus in Aquarius, that is your 12th house. So, Pisces, you guys are the 12th sign on the zodiac wheel, on the regular zodiac wheel, the one that starts with Aries first. But on your personal zodiac wheel, Aquarius is 12. Okay, so that means it's giving an energy that you're familiar with as the 12th sign. So 12th house, 12th sign, very similar influence. Venus here will give you more of like a dreamy type of enjoyment, which you guys, it's like you're being right in your element. Pisces energy really enjoys its solitude, its alone time, its time to reflect, and time to just zone out and get into some really good music, some good art, and just pretend like time really doesn't exist. So when Venus is here, ooh, that's how you're going to be enjoying life, Pisces. Or you'll just feel like you just want to be left alone a lot more to do some creative stuff possibly. Now, since Venus rules love and relationships when it's in the 12th house, a few things can happen here, and I'm going to be keeping it all the way honest and real with my fellow fishies, okay? So the good is, since the 12th house rules escapism into a fantasy world, if you have a boo that you're committed to, then this can be a time where you guys can really just go off in that world by yourselves together. You may be craving more like time alone just with that person, just to run off for a little while, whether it's near or far. You're really going to be craving that. On the negative side, since the 12th house rules kind of like that damsel in distress energy that Pisces should be pretty familiar with, where you always feel like you need to be rescued by someone. Oh, life is so terrible. Somebody give me a life raft and rescue me. Sometimes some people, when Venus goes into the 12th house, they can feel like that about their relationship. Like they want someone to rescue them because it's just so terrible. They're being treated so terribly. And because the 12th house also dissolves the boundaries between one person to another, maybe some Pisces may be wavering over the boundary lines when it comes to other people, even though they're in committed relationships, and maybe feeling like stepping outside of that because they feel like, oh, I'm treated so badly, and it's a house of fantasy, so you may be like fantasizing that this other person is so much better than the partner that you're with already. You may be fantasizing about someone on the internet and have an internet love connection happen. I'm just saying, be very careful with that energy, Pisces, because, hey, just being honest, this is one of the creeping transits, okay? One of these creeping ass transits that people go through sometimes. So be very careful with it. Don't let yourself, your boundaries be dissolved if you're in a committed relationship. But if you're not committed to somebody, good place to meet, well, I wouldn't recommend it because there's always that wall of illusion that can happen, but you may meet somebody like online on the internet, but be careful of not seeing them for who they really are, which we Pisceans tend to have issues with in life in general. Every day we gloss over and put a fog over people's faults, and we see them as these perfect people, put them on a pedestal, and then they show us their true selves, that they're like an a-hole, and we're like, no, I don't understand. They're Prince Charming. Yeah, be careful with that this month. But great for escapism, healthy escapism with a partner or alone, and diving into some dope music. Hey, that's stuff that we love, right, Pisces? So on the 14th, there's a full moon in the sign of Gemini. So a full moon is when the moon and the sun are in opposite signs and they create some tension that brings a breakthrough, some sort of change, some sort of, man, I can't take this anymore type of event that, brings forth a great change. So, with this being in the sign of Gemini, for we Pisceans, this is our fourth house of home and family. It's our roots. And then on the opposite end, we have the sun in Sagittarius, which is in our 10th house of career, where old man Saturn has been hanging out and telling us, no, you can't go out with your friends, you can't do anything, you've got work to do, you got a career to build. Career to build. Oof, I cannot speak speaking English right now. So the sun and Saturn together up here in the 10th house, a lot of Pisceans, including myself, could have been having pressure put on them by bosses, by authority figures to really perform within your career, otherwise suffer the consequences. Now, if you're a working Pisces and you've been working very hard, remember Saturn energy gives rewards where hard work has been achieved. So, just keep plugging along and maybe you may have some achievement that happens. However, this is a tug of war between career and family life. Some breakthrough may happen that causes a change in the home life. Maybe you earn like a really cool career and you can buy a house now. You can move to a better home. You can move out of living with other people. That's just one example. Or you move closer to your dope new job that you got. Those are just a couple of different scenarios. Or it can be just like your family, because this is a moon. The moon rules family and emotions. So maybe your family is like so emotional because they're like, all you do is work, Pisces. All you do is work now. Psh, that'll be me. All you do is work. You don't spend time with your family. So they're like demanding down here that you hang out with them. Okay, so that's just a couple things that this full moon can bring to Pisces. Now, very important for Pisces in particular is on the 20th, Mars moves out of Aquarius and into our sign of Pisces. Now, Mars is initiative and drive and action. And Mars on a negative side could be like uberly aggressive. And, Pisces, we're lovers. We're not fighters, just our Pisces side of us, okay, is like the side that wants love for everybody, loves everybody and every living being, not just humans. But hey, we have our times where we can get a temper too, just like everybody else. This is going to be especially true when Mars goes into our sign on the 20th. So, Mars and Pisces, first house. Couple things here, guys. So, we can be seen as warriors by other people or as aggressive by other people, even if we don't even try to come off that way, and they may come at us and challenge us. So if you find that after the 20th, you start getting challenged by people, whether in person or on the internet or over any type of, other types of forms of communication with other people, this is why, okay? That is why. And it's going to be harder to control your impulses and your temper during this transit, okay? So that's the negative part of it. The positive is you have the drive towards anything you want to achieve in life to better yourself, okay? And that means career. That also means your physical body, because Mars is the god of war. And, he has like these abs that are cut. He's got like armor on. He's just all buff and stuff. So that may be the energy that you're embodying, like that you may feel like, I want to get into shape. I want to be more active. So this is a really good time when Mars is in your sign to get physically active and get those abs and, get those biceps. Mine, they're like non-existent anymore. But I used to be a buff Pisces moon, okay? I swear, a long time ago. Maybe I can get it back while Mars is in my sign, okay? Now, there's a couple of other transits I wanted to talk about. Well, first of all, on the 21st, the moon moves from Sagittarius in our 10th house to Capricorn in our 11th house of groups. So kind of shining more of a light on this area here where Mercury is retrograde and communication can be a little wonky, a little disoriented. The sun will help to highlight this area a lot more and also help you to be seen more on social media if that's what you choose to do. Now, on the 25th, we have a positive aspect going on, which is a trine between Uranus here in Aries in our second house of earned income, and Saturn here. This is at about 20 degrees or so, and Saturn here in Sagittarius in our house of career and our social status. Okay, so couple of things that can happen. Well, you know, Saturn is hard work, and Saturn rewards hard work. Okay, so since this is positivity, Saturn could be saying, all right, look, you have been working very hard, Pisces. I think you have earned more money. Bing, Uranus here in our money house, second house, Aries. Uranus likes to shake things up. He likes to, make breakthroughs and significant changes happen in areas that maybe were boring, stagnant, redundant, whatever, not really moving very much, but need to move, need to change. Uranus causes those changes to just suddenly pop up and appear, but they're not always negative and scary. They can be positive. And in this case, it can be that some of my Pisceans, you're rewarded by a higher income in some sort of way for working very, very hard. Or, hey, if you haven't been working very hard, which Saturn, rewards and encourages, then there could be a sudden change in income that may not be so favorable. So that's something to think about before this time, and get your stuff together, Pisces. Like, start looking around like, oh my gosh, woo-hoo, I better work hard. I better impress my boss the next couple weeks, so maybe I can keep my income and maybe get a raise, So that's a couple things that can happen there. Also, we have an opposition between Jupiter and Libra up here in your 8th house of money that you get from other sources besides working from a job. That can mean a partner's income, that can mean from the government, from insurance or taxes or whatever, child support, alimony, all of that stuff. And then Uranus down here in your house of earned income. So these two energies are opposing one another. So, something can happen, a breakthrough can happen to where maybe, you no longer are working and you're going to gain money from not working. I guess, it can happen to where, okay, fine, you get a loan, like a huge loan or a huge lump sum or an inheritance or something, and then maybe you don't have to really work anymore to earn money for a long time at least. Or, maybe you now have to depend upon government assistance, upon another person to live with you, to help you out with bills because something changed with your income. Those are just a couple of different scenarios there. And also, Uranus is going to turn direct after the 29th. He's been retrograde for a while, but after the 29th, any changes in your income that you're trying to initiate can start transpiring after that time. Now, on the 29th, also, we have a new moon in the sign of Capricorn in our 11th house of groups and networking and social media. So, a new beginning there because, Father Sun and Mother Moon get together and they birth something brand new. And Mercury's already been here, the whole month and everything, retrograde at that time too. And it's just something new can be brought to life there. Maybe you can start a website. Now, of course, beginning anything new that has to do with communication during a Mercury retrograde is not ideal. I mean, you can still do it, but there may be some bumps in the road. There may be some bugs and kinks to work out and what have you. But this here can bring something brand new. You can, maybe if you've already been working on a website previously before Mercury retrograde, it's something that you've already been working on for a while and you're trying to initiate it now. It's just working out the last final touches of it during Mercury retrograde. So it's not like it can't happen. Okay, it's not like you should put everything on hold. Just make sure that you read all the fine print. Make sure you have all the details in order to get something going and beginning for you in that area. Or this could just be a new friendship beginning, or you find your tribe, you find a new group to join of like-minded individuals that you guys have things in common, and it really makes you happy to hang out with them. But like I said, remember, be careful of miscommunications. Okay, now lastly, I wanted to talk to you about Mars in your sign in Pisces in a conjunction with Neptune. If I can find Neptune, OMG. Here, I'll just let's use the purple one. Purple's a Pisces and Neptune color, so here we go. Since, okay, now this conjunction happens on the 31st, okay, the 31st of December. Now, in the Western world, we celebrate New Year's Eve that day, that evening, that night. Just keeping it real, a lot of people act crazy on New Year's Eve. You know, they get drunk, they get high, they go out and they do reckless things and woo, just party it up, you know. And some people shoot guns in the air and they don't really care about the consequences of where the bullets fall. I had a friend whose cousin passed away on New Year's Eve because of people doing that, shooting bullets in the air. She was just chilling, minding her business with family, safe at a family home, and one of those stray bullets hit her in her head. So, not to be sad and morbid, Pisces, but just telling you guys, like, that's what a lot of people do on New Year's Eve. I mean, not every New Year's Eve, there's so much negativity. I'm just being real, to give a warning of this. Look, Mars is action and drive, okay? It's your actions. And Neptune is confusion and delusion and dissolvement. So when the two come together on a negative side, that's what can happen to us in general as the masses. You know, we can lose control, be reckless of our actions a lot easier. So on New Year's Eve, people always do stuff like that already, but this is going to be heightened this year. And Pisces, because this is happening in your sign, you may be one of the signs that are more prone to actually taking those type of reckless actions, being under the influence and then taking off and driving and not getting a DD, you know, stuff like that. Just be very careful, Pisces. Of course, still party, hang out if that's something you celebrate, but just really, really be mindful of this energy of the evening when you're hopping into a vehicle to either be a passenger or a driver, or if you meet somebody, you hook up. I mean, the next day you may end up with like some crazy troll looking person when last night they looked so fine. Okay, so that's just a couple of consequences of the negative side of Mars and Neptune together. But on the positive, if you go out dancing that night, you're going to be cutting a rug, Pisces, because this is that divine creativity paired with your action. Oof, you guys are going to be the best performers, some of the best performers, some other signs too, but some of the best performers will be coming out of Pisceans around the 31st. All right, guys, so that was it for your monthly December forecast. I hope it was helpful. And once again, I apologize for the delay in these. And don't forget to subscribe. And also don't forget to tune in next month in January. I will have January videos, but also I'm going to do a 2017 overview. I'll have it released sometime in January. I can't promise January 1st, but sometime in January. So look out for those, all right? So take care of yourselves. Have a great month, great holiday season, and a happy new year.